Welcome to Talks with Pacarina. My name is Catherine Wolf.
And my name is Renirio Oster.
And we are the co-founders of Pacarina. And really our work is about helping conscious leaders to stand in their personal power by letting go of their egos so that they can step up and lead and create what they deserve.
So this talk is going to be about self-love. What is self-love? What is it? What does it mean to love yourself?
When I think about this question, so much stuff comes to me about, like hot bubble baths and long walks on the beach, and about taking time out from my very busy life for myself, or even about eating healthy food. But really, we can do all of that stuff, and that stuff is lovely, but we can be doing that stuff and still not be loving ourselves.
It's so easy to have compassion and kindness and caring to people outside of ourselves, to the world outside of ourselves. But what does it really mean to have kindness or compassion or to care for myself? What does it really mean?
If you think about this self-talk that goes on inside of you, and how you really think about yourself and what you say to yourself and how you feel about yourself, then if you are prepared to get really deeply and truly honest about that question, you may well be able to see that the way in which you treat yourself is not loving, and certainly not something that you would be happy to treat many people, those ones that you love in your world. Would you treat those people the way that you treat yourself?
The answer is always no. However, on the other side, we can really only give what we've got. So if I am personally living a life of uncertainty, of insignificant, of not enough, that would be what I have to give. I won't have anything else to give other than that. I can maybe sugarcoat it and make it look pretty, but the truth of this is that we can only give what we've got.
So in order to show up in a space of truly loving yourself, what needs to happen is to stop judging yourself. First and foremost, stop being so hard on yourself, and to watch all of the things that go on in your head towards yourself or towards other people. Because the truth is that the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between anybody outside of yourself or yourself. So as you judge the things in your world, whether it's you or other people, you're really judging yourself. And when you judge yourself, you only have judgments to share.
So let's look at how do I see myself. And a very common thing is being able to see myself through the eyes of the world, like the validation, the outside validation of, yes, you are good enough and a good job and keep going like that. So what we do is we tend to show up for more of those rather than being able to stop and look at how I speak to myself and look at how I see myself. And we can go much deeper into seeing myself through my own eyes. And at that point in time, I'm not talking about standing in front of a mirror and looking at the image that gets to show up and even acknowledging to that image in the mirror that, hey, I love you, which I promise you most people have a really hard time doing. So how to look at myself, and that's really a good topic to start with, is how do I speak to myself? What are the common thoughts and words and feelings that I have when I look at myself? Does it come from a place of fear, or does it come from a place of love? And what we can share with you is when it comes from a place of love, that's where personal power is.
Yeah, that's where true leadership is. That's where you're able to show up for yourself and to love yourself, which means that you have love and respect and kindness and compassion to yourself to share with the world. And that's what leadership is. It's not about being hard on yourself and being hard on the people around you. That is not leadership. That's leadership from fear, which is always ego-based, and not from a place of truly loving myself first and foremost.
So how to reach that point of truly loving myself? We really need a vibration of acceptance of what is inside of ourselves and outside of ourselves. And when we get to show up from that place where we can truly accept that this was going to be like this whether I was here or not, until then we will show up from fear, not from a place of personal power. And there will be results, but not any lasting results. It will be very short-lived, and then we will have to chase the next one and the next one. And that's pretty much the lives that we have been living, is being validated from the outside that I am enough. And based on that validation, I will do more. And I can promise you, if you want to go and look at the places where people show you that you are not enough, you will not get to show up in that same environment over and over again. There will be a story. Our minds does what it does. It really gets to run on this automatic way of thinking, and it's the one story after the other story after the other story. I mean, just imagine for yourself an argument with another person. As soon as this person has left, what we tend to do is we tend to run that argument again. I said this, he said that. He said this, she said that. I said this. And in playing this over and over to ourselves, sometimes we are stuck in these stories for like 3 weeks, 3 months, even 3 years, and it goes much longer, sometimes 30 years, where we have no willingness to be wrong. We are right because of what we have experienced, and there is no space to choose another way. It's like this total stuckness of being right.
And what Renita is really talking about is presence. Because if we're able to be 100% in this moment, right here, right now, there are no stories. There is nothing about the past. And there's nothing about any kind of control of the future, needing the future to be in any particular way. We're just here. And when we are just here, we can show up from a place of love. Because love is here now. Love has got nothing to do with anything other than now. Because the only thing that exists is this present moment, right now. The past does not exist. The future does not exist. The present moment is all there is. So when we're able to show up in presence, with space between our incessant thoughts and an understanding of who we are, that is self-love. That is how we get to really love ourselves. And as soon as we jump into and get lost in these stories about the past and the future, we have stopped loving ourselves.
And that's really what this message is about, is how do we get to show up from this place of personal power, understanding what it is that we need and giving that to ourselves, and show up from a place of self-love, which is personal power, which is present in this moment, here and now.
So if you would like some help with letting go of all the blocks to the awareness of this presence and this love inside of you, that is really all you have to share with the world in order to be in your power, then please do connect with us. We would love to have a conversation about how we can help you show up in your power.